Welcome to the final segment in this three-part tutorial on Flir's Assetlink cloud-based software solution for thermographers. In the previous tutorials, we addressed how to set up your Assetlink account, establish your asset library, and create inspection routes. This presentation will focus on how to connect your Assetlink account to Flir's T-Series thermal camera and conduct inspections while using reference images with this device. This also includes how to view and manage your thermal data in Assetlink. Remember, you can also watch these presentations and many more on the free learning resource page found on the Infrared Training Center website at infraredtraining.com. This includes a tutorial that covers the basics of operating the Flir T-Series thermal camera. To get started, thermographers need to first connect their Flir T-Series to Wi-Fi so that it can communicate with the Assetlink application. Navigate to the Settings menu and look for the Wi-Fi option under Connections. Select Wi-Fi, and then Connect to Network. Pick an appropriate network and enter your password to connect. Also, before downloading Assetlink routes to your thermal imager, operators need to check if the proper firmware version is installed. To verify the camera's firmware, go back to the main Settings menu and this time navigate to Device Settings. Select Camera Information and scroll down to the Software Information tab. Check that the firmware version is 8.80.0.0.0 or greater. If this is not the case, the latest firmware can be downloaded and installed using the Update option. To return to the main Settings menu, press the back button on your thermal camera. Next, let's demonstrate how to download routes on the T-Series thermal camera. The next step is to pair the thermal imager with your Assetlink account. Navigate to the Settings menu and select Account Login at the top of the display. Here you will see two options to pair a camera. One is for Flir Ignite and the other is to connect with Assetlink. Select the Assetlink option and tap Sign In. This will display two web addresses that are pre-programmed as the default locations that are used for connecting both a thermal imager and an Assetlink database. Tap Sign In once more to display an 8-character pairing code. Next, open a web browser on your computer and go to assetlink.flir.com/auth to load the Assetlink authorization page. Enter the 8-character pairing code that's displayed on your thermal imager and select Start Pairing to connect the camera. You might be prompted to sign into your Assetlink account to complete the pairing process. If so, this is same username and password that we mentioned earlier in part 1 of this tutorial when originally setting up an Assetlink account. Once the pairing is complete, both the website and your thermal imager display should update with a confirmation screen indicating the process has been successful. While in the Settings menu, scroll down to the Routing option and enable Inspection Route. Remember that routes can be created by two applications. This includes Flir's Assetlink and Thermal Studio Professional. However, Thermal Studio is not compatible with Assetlink. Select the Assetlink Routes option to display all available organizations. Navigate through the organization, the workspace, and the site to locate the specific route you would like to use. Additionally, the camera can be loaded with several routes at a time to help you work more efficiently. For this example, let's use the No Server Room route that we created earlier in the previous tutorial, and click the arrow to download this route to the thermal imager. Next, let's demonstrate how to conduct a thermal inspection using this route. To begin an inspection, select the downloaded route from the Routes tab, and then tap the Start Inspection option. The assets, inspection points, and notes featured in the following demonstration were originally created and discussed in part 1 of this tutorial. These are targets that are located at the Teledyne Flir site in Canada and include an electrical panel as well as select calibration and other training lab equipment from the Infrared Training Center. Let's start with our first asset on this route, which is Lighting Panel 42 and the inspection point, Circuit 2. Any special instructions or notes for this particular inspection point can be found here. Tap the notepad icon to open and review. The spot measurement tool can then be moved over the inspection point to measure its temperature. Next, click on the asset name and the corresponding 3 dots to display the status options for this inspection point. In this example, we will mark the asset condition as OK and save the image. Select the right arrow to move on to the next inspection point. We will repeat this process for circuit 15, updating the status and saving a new image. The next asset on this route is the 55 degrees Celsius black body. The prompt for the inspection point instructs the thermographer to use an emissivity of 0.99. The status can be updated and the image saved. The process is then repeated for the 80 degrees Celsius black body. The 120 degrees Celsius black body, however, appears to display a temperature that requires attention. Next is the dual connection lab in the Infrared Training Center classroom, where another image is captured and the status condition is set to OK. With the spot size ratio lab target, the inspection note instructs the thermographer to use an emissivity of 0.95. Additionally, we can also see that the temperature of the target has exceeded the current range setting on the thermal imager. After changing the range and allowing the camera to stabilize, we can now measure the temperature and set the status condition to OK. Once the route is complete, select the Finish Inspection option. Next, go back into Settings in the Routing submenu to select the Inspections option to upload the data back to Assetlink. Tap the route and then select Upload to Assetlink to start the transfer. A check mark will appear once the data transfer is complete. Now that we have completed the inspection using this route, let's move on to discuss how to review our inspection data in Assetlink. Open the Inspections tab to display the current list of inspections for the site. The inspection file name is comprised of the route name and the date and time the inspection was conducted. Here we can see that the inspection status is currently awaiting approval. When the first inspection file is loaded into Assetlink, the captured image for each inspection point will be automatically loaded into the asset library and corresponding routes as the initial reference image for the inspection point. Let's review the Ancaster Flir instruments location. When a particular asset is selected, the summary information is revealed. For example, we see that the inspection point for the 120 degree black body has a status of Attention. We also see that the image being used is the current reference picture, and the temperature spot reading is plotted on the chart. While only one data point is currently displayed, temperature readings from future inspections will start to show any trends that are developing. Return to the Inspections tab and select an inspection to review additional information. When an asset is selected, such as the 1-inch opening of the spot size ratio lab, its respective image will be listed. Click the edit icon next to the inspection point to launch the Flir Ignite image editor. This will allow operators to make any changes to the thermal image, including the level and span, color palette, measurement tools, and more. The thermal image used as the reference picture for the inspection point is also displayed. This image can be replaced with another one from a subsequent inspection. We will cover how to do that a bit later. Press Exit to return to Assetlink. Upon reviewing this inspection point, we can see that the 194 degree temperature reading is not OK and indicates a critical condition for the purposes of this demonstration. This status can be adjusted accordingly. Once the inspection has been reviewed and any necessary changes have been made, the inspection can be marked as approved. A report can now be generated for this inspection. First, operators should create a unique name for their report. Next, the contents of the report can be filtered based on the status of the inspection points. As an example, there may be a situation where a maintenance manager is perhaps only interested in inspection points that have been marked critical. For the purposes of this demonstration, let's include all the potential conditions. Click the Create button to generate the report. The first page of the report includes a cover page that displays the report title, the inspection site, and the date of the inspection. A table of contents and another page that includes details of the inspection are also automatically created. The report will generate a summary of each status type and a table that lists the condition of each inspection point. A page is then generated for each inspection point and includes the infrared and digital photo along with the current infrared reference image. Press Save to download a copy of the report. This will save the file in Flir's proprietary reporting format, which allows operators to open it and make any edits later in Flir Ignite. The export option creates a PDF file of the report that you can also download to your computer. This is the version you should share with any customers or other decision makers who might not have access to Flir's software. It also helps restrict any changes to the final document. The Insights tab acts like a dashboard and provides an overview of your inspections, including the status of assets and your findings. The data is grouped into the 3 categories, including OK, Attention, and Critical. The table displays the condition of all inspection points from worst to best. This helps you quickly access and assess all your inspection information, helping you make better maintenance decisions. The data displayed in this table will be automatically updated when subsequent inspections are completed. Next, let's cover how to conduct an inspection using reference images. Reference images are used during an infrared inspection to provide the right orientation and proper perspective of the inspection point. This will ensure consistency and reliability when the image is captured for programs that are using thermal imaging for data trending and analysis. When an initial inspection has been uploaded to Assetlink, the corresponding route is populated with the images that were captured during the inspection and will now serve as reference images. This updated route will need to be downloaded once again onto the camera before conducting the next inspection. The No Server Room Inspection route will be used to demonstrate this feature. The small image icon displayed in the lower left corner is used to access the associated reference image. Initially, a thumbnail view of the reference image is displayed. Selecting the right overlay icon, the reference image is expanded on top of the current image as a transparent overlay. This allows for real-time adjustment of the camera's view with respect to the reference image. Once the alignment has been verified, the status of the inspection point can be set and the image saved. Another example is the 80°C blackbody cavity. As you can see here, the alignment is almost perfect. The status is set to OK and the image saved. We then use the reference image feature to check all remaining inspection points. Similar to before, the route is now complete and can be uploaded up to Assetlink for further review. Returning to the Assetlink Inspections folder on the computer, we can see that the latest route has been listed and is waiting for review and approval. Scrolling through the list of assets and inspection points, we can confirm that the new status is set to OK for the spot size ratio lab in the classroom. The condition of the 80°C blackbody cavity is also updated accordingly. Since everything looks good, the inspection can now be approved. Let's take a moment to look more closely at the data collected from the spot size ratio lab. Opening the inspection point in the asset library for the Encaster site, the new temperature point has been updated, and the chart now displays a trend that has occurred over the last 2 inspections, and the graph indicates that the temperature has dropped. Now that we have an updated image from the latest route, we will need to replace the previous reference image with the new sample showing the temperature change. To do this, we will need to update the reference image used for the route in the asset library. Assetlink makes this process easy to do. Click on the image to open it up and select the edit icon to launch the Flir Ignite image editor. The captured images of both inspections are displayed along with the current reference image that is identified by the timestamp. To replace this reference image, select the 3 dots that are below the new thermal image and follow the prompts. The new reference image is now saved and can be confirmed when we return to the asset library. Repeat this process after running your routes to ensure your data stays current and ready to go. We hope you've enjoyed this overview of Flir Assetlink. If you have any questions or need additional help with this software, the following web pages are available for thermographers from Flir. Here you'll find a summary of key features, additional technical information, user guides, frequently asked questions, and much more. However, learning how to use Assetlink is just the beginning. It is only with certification training that you'll get the most out of your investment in thermal imaging and this routing software. And that's where the Infrared Training Center can help. Increase your credibility, enhance your career, and build your business. These are just some of what you will accomplish with certification courses from the Infrared Training Center. Whether you're joining us in the classroom, on-site, or online, our course schedule is packed with upcoming training dates at a number of convenient locations worldwide. Learn from industry veterans and thermal imaging experts who will help guide you through an interactive and practical educational experience with training that meets or exceeds industry standards.
I would 100% recommend this program to friends or colleagues. A little bit of knowledge with this technology can really go a long way and alleviate these problems that affect us all.
Don't wait. To register for training, give us a call or go to infraredtraining.com to learn more and start your journey towards certification with the Infrared Training Center.